The biggest contributor to your success is fear. See, fear has two sides. It's ambition or anxiety. Yeah, that's right. See, when we view fear as ambition, we see it as a line that we're supposed to cross over, as tension of change in order to be into the zone of success. And when we view fear as anxiety, can I get your arms with me? Just stick your arms out for a second like that. This is what happens when fear becomes anxiety. We wrap ourselves up in it, disabling our ability to move and be brave in our weakness. And imagine doing this your entire life. Imagine thinking that you're not good enough. Imagine being afraid to succeed. Imagine always worrying about what people are going to think about me. That's not but let me unwrap him a little bit. But I can tell you exactly what will happen when we start to do that. We will start to live out the worst possible outcome for our life. And today I want to show you how you can use the power of fear. I want to show you how you can stop being so anxious about tomorrow and worrying about, am I going to be successful or not? Because you can change the way you view success. Fear is something that you're supposed to conquer, not something that conquers you. So that's exactly what I want to show you how to do today. How to conquer your fear so you can make 2020 the year of excellence. Who's down with that? Come on, talk to me now. Yeah. I mean, we're getting ready to step into a whole another decade. How exciting is that? And one thing I want you guys to be mindful of, I do not want you to carry on the same mindset that you had in 2019 into 2020. And the first thing that you're going to have to do, if we want to conquer our fear, if we really want to have that ambition to be successful, is that you have to fall in love with the process. Falling in love with the process means decide. Because in your decision, you make a commitment. Decide. See, what I understand about deciding is that you are deciding to do what's not logical, okay? And in doing so, you understand that the choice is risky. And not too many people are willing to take it. But hopefully it will lead to the success that you had in mind. If not, you got to continue until you find a way. Deciding means that I'm going to get uncomfortable, and I'm willing to be comfortable in it. Deciding not to be content with where you are, but be a contender to get to where you want to be. It was Winston Churchill who said, if you're going through hell, just keep going. Because what's the use of trying and quitting when you're in the middle of something? Like, you're in the middle. So either way, if you go back, it's the same distance if you were to go forward. Decide. Maya Angelou said that I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. My mom told me this one thing growing up as a kid. She said, Charles, when you keep fighting, you're going to win. She said, when you keep fighting, you're going to win. And she said that to me because in the first grade, I watched my friends go on to the second grade without me. In middle school, I was put in remedial classes. And I found something that I was so gifted in, which was track and field. And I had hundreds of letters pouring in from colleges and universities. But once I sent my transcripts into those schools, and when I was in high school, they would call me and say, Charles, you're not good enough for our school. Your GPA and your college test scores, you never make it in. And it was literally like I was in the first grade all over again, but this time I watched my friends going to college without me. And it's something that's hard about life when you get knocked down. You're looking at the choice to persevere, the choice to settle. It's tough to say, I will commit to that decision that I made. And I took that test in September, and I failed that thing real hard. 120 points. I took the test in October, and I failed it again. I took the test in November, and I'm thinking third time's the charmer, right? You see it all the time on Disney. I'm going to get my moment. No, I failed that test again. And it's something that's hard about life when people are mocking you, make fun of you, and you want to be successful, and it doesn't look like the outcome's going to be that way. And the last time I could take that test was in December to pretty much go to any school that I wanted to attend. I passed that test by 1 point. But many people would say, Charles, there's no way you can come back from this deficit. But a kid who had failure and setbacks written all over his life, he would graduate from Florida State University and make the dean's list and ACC honor roll. Out of 6.8 billion people in the world, I will become the 6th fastest man in the world in the uncomfortable. How did I do it? It was all based on my decision. Deciding not to let discomfort become the pivotal factor of why I did not pursue my goals was a turning point that led to me winning. What's the decision that you need to make today? See, when you fall in love with the process, you're saying, I am removing the timeline. Because if you're going at your goals with an expiration date, you don't love it. You just like it. It's just a trend. You know, I recently became a newly engaged man, and one of the things that I learned about love is that love is a choice. And when you put expectations on what you love, it's not love at all. It's an expectation that leads to desperation. Some people in here, they say, you know, I'll commit myself to this goal. I'll commit myself to this dream if it takes a month, if it takes a year, if it takes 2 years. But anything outside of that, Charles, I'm just going to go back to what I used to do. But imagine having that mentality in life. Imagine having that mentality with a cake. Imagine saying, you know, I'm just going to pull this cake out of the oven. I know it's not ready. And it's going to be a painfully ugly experience. It will deflate the entire cake. But when we go at our dreams, when we go at our aspirations date with the expiration date, what we're doing is getting unfavorable results. Here's what I want you to know. The process does not care how long it takes. The process doesn't care that you got bills to pay, that you got a family to feed, that you don't want to look like a failure in front of everyone else in your neighborhood. The process doesn't care about that. The process cares if you are built for this. You know, because you can go get surgery to remove excess weight, but never refuse a donut a day in your life. That weight's going to come right back, am I right? Or you can win the lotto $1 million, but never budgeted your money. You're going to be broke by next year. Last time I said that, somebody said, not if I was his advisor. But it's all about the process. You know how many people I know who said, I want to get married by 23, have kids by 25, and build a house from the ground up by 26, actually do it? Not one of them. But how can we decide to say, you know what, I'm going to lose my focus. I'm going to lose my drive. I want you to be more concerned about being built by the process than making it. Because when you are built by the process, you're made to last. When you are built by the process, you are made to last. But Charles, what about the fear of submitting myself to this idea of this dream? How do I stop the anxiety of that? Be in love right where you're at. Fall in love with this moment right now. And but most people, they say, you know, I'll do it. I just need the likes. I just need the business card. I just need to be successful for 2 years in my business before I say I'll completely fall in love with this. But if you're doing that, you already lost the game. I watched this video of this guy who was proposing to his girlfriend at KFC. And I was reading the comments in the section, and I was like, who proposes to his girlfriend at KFC? He's so trifling. Like, no, who does that? And I was reading more of the comments, and everybody was starting to laugh at him. You saw the little gifs and stuff like that. But the video, the attention was getting, it got viral. And hashtag KFC proposal went all over the world. And you know what happened? They got so many contributions for their wedding. It took care of the venue. It took care of the dress. It took care of the suit. It took care of 2 rings worth over $45,000. I'm like, man, I should have just proposed at KFC all along. But here's what I want you to understand, is that this guy had a KFC budget, and it paid off. And most of you might got a KFC budget. You might have a Ruth Chris budget. You balling. But here's the thing that I really want you to know, or even the Mickey D's budget. But the real thing is, are you loving it? Are you loving right where you're at? Because love and fear cannot operate at the same place at the same time. And if you are waiting to love it, to arrive to some moment, you're already lost. So I need you to start loving, find gratitude in this moment that you're in right now. That's the beauty of the process. Submitting yourself to the process means, hey, I'm loving this moment right here, right now, because when I get to the next one, I'm going to love that too. And when I get to the next one, I'm going to love that too. But right now, I got to be thankful for what I'm going through right now. What can you be thankful for right now? And here's the real question I have for you today, is what is the one decision you need to make before you leave this room today? Don't just let me talk to you now. What is one decision that you need to make before you leave this room today in order to fall in love with the process? The next thing I want to give you is to have patience. I want to talk to someone in this room, and you know exactly who you are. You've been showing up early. You've been leaving late. And to be honest, you've been getting disappointing results. And that fear is coming in with overwhelming anxiety, and it's telling you that it's always going to be this way. That you should get yourself a real job, that it doesn't work for people like me. But I want to let you know something. That dream that you have, it's like a seed, and it's about to sprout. It's like the Chinese bamboo tree. You know what's so special about a Chinese bamboo tree? Imagine taking a seed of that tree and you go to your backyard and you place that seed into the ground, and every single day you water it. You make sure it's getting enough sunlight. But you didn't see the results that you want to see in year one. And you don't have to question if the seed is there. What you're really worried about is the effort and the results that you don't see behind those efforts. It's that client that didn't even give you the decency to tell you I ain't coming to this meeting. It's the one that says, you know what, you're too young for me. Why don't you wait a couple of years until you get some experience? But I need you to keep doing this one thing. That's your seed. Keep watering it. Keep showing up. Because on year one, nothing happens. Year two, nothing happens. Year three, nothing happens. Year four, nothing happens, but you're still watering that seed. And even though some people might be looking at you like, this dude is crazy. I don't see anything underneath the ground. I don't see anything that's sprouting from the underneath the surface. But keep watering it, because on year five, just a few days later, that seed will sprout 99 feet in the air. Now, as we all know, that tree is no overnight success. You are no overnight success. What you've been going through day and night is no overnight success. So what you got to do is just stick to it just a little longer. Because what you don't want to do is get to the end of this seed and pull it from under the ground and see all the roots that were at the foundation of what could have been your success. That would be a painful experience. Or let me say it like this. Or to get all the calls from those clients that you've been calling, but you already quit. You guys understand what I'm saying now? I need you to stick with it. Be patient. Say this mantra to yourself every day. If it doesn't happen today, tomorrow is better. Tomorrow will be better. Be consistent. Keep showing up when no one else wants to show up. Here's the next thing I want to give you today. Align your actions with your beliefs. Align your actions with your beliefs. When I was in the 6th grade, out of all the jerseys the school had, none of them could fit on me, y'all. So what my coach had to do, he had to duct tape the back of the jersey together so it wouldn't fall off my chest when I ran, right? And come race day, I would line up with guys who were bigger than me, who were taller than me, who were stronger than me. And I had a teammate by the name of Marcus. And Marcus, he was 6'2". It looked like he should have been my daddy. Marcus looked at me, he's looking down at me, and he says, little man, ain't no way you're going to win this race. Literally, that's the voice that I hear in my head. But I could have turned what he said to me into real fear. I could have said, maybe he's right. But my belief said that I don't care if you are bigger than me. I don't care if you say words to me that might offend me or words to me that's going to try to push me down. I'm going to get this one. This is my victory. So when I crossed that finish line in front of Marcus, Marcus looked at me, and I looked at Marcus, and he knew that talk was cheap, because your actions are the evidence of what you believe. I showed up every single day, first to leave, first to be there, last to leave. I was the one in the middle of the street in the blocks in my neighborhood, and I would sprint out the blocks, and people would look at me like I'm crazy. But my actions were based on my belief system. Here's the question I have for you today. Are you writing checks that you can't cash? Are you writing checks that you can't cash? Are you having this big belief system, but you're watering it down with little action? Because when you do that, what you're creating, what you're saying to yourself is, I'm creating anxiety in my life. I'm not about that life. I just can talk a good game. So what is the one action that you need to take in order to align your actions to your beliefs? Here, let's write that down right now. What is the one action that you need to take